Hey, what's up everybody? This is Muth24, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask manga. I meant to do this review like right before Halloween, and things just got busy and didn't quite turn out that early, but you know what? I figured it's still kind of in the spirit of the season, since November is going to see the release of Skyward Sword, so as part of Zeldavember, as I'm going to call it, Majora's Mask. Here you have it. And the thing that got me so interested in reading this volume over some of the other ones, I read Ages and Seasons first because those were the two first games that I owned. But after playing Majora's Mask again this past summer, I realized like how story-driven it is compared to some of the other ones. I'm not saying that the other games aren't story-driven, because I still think that this series as a whole has some of the best storytelling in any video game ever. But Majora's Mask is a very narrative-heavy game, and you've got all these different side stories going on in it. So I was really curious to see how that played out in this volume. So as you can see here on the front, you have Tattle and Tail, you have Skull Kid with Majora's Mask, the moon in the background, Link with the Deku Mask, and then on the back there's a little synopsis about the story, explaining, it takes place right after End of Ocarina of Time. Got another Deku Scrub Link there. And then again on the side. But this volume does a pretty good job of setting things up like right after Ocarina of Time, and you get some stuff that doesn't happen in the game, like here at the beginning where he's still in Castle Town, and he's getting some of his weapons all fixed up and everything before he takes off to go try and find Navy, and he even spars against Master Osun is his name. He's just like one of the best fighters in Hyrule. So anyways, you get to see some of that, and you do get the story of how Majora's Mask was stolen before that, though, which is a good setup for everything, I think. It is a single volume, so there's a lot of things that they have to skip over. Unfortunately, that is a lot of the side story material, which is a big part of the actual game. Although you do get some, little snippets of it here and there with the people he runs into in Clock Town. The only one that really comes to fruition is the story of Andrew and Cafe. They do cover the main story stuff pretty well, what with, the Deku Princess and the Gorons and Goat at Snowhead, and then the Zora Cape and the Pirates and the Giant Turtle. So you do get all the major events. They do kind of jump to a few conclusions, like Oldola just shows up out of nowhere, just kind of busts down the wall in the Deku Palace, which is kind of odd. And then with Gyorg, he's just at the bottom of the ocean. He's not really in a temple. They don't actually have any temples in this. It's more just Link getting all the transformation masks and then using them to defeat each of the bosses from the game to get their masks back. And all the fights are over a lot quicker than I would like, although, for the sake of keeping younger readers interested, because this is a Viz Kids edition, I can kind of understand it. But yeah, the Andrew and Cafe bit is kind of what just wraps everything up right before the very end here. So, if you've played the games, I think, you can still appreciate it, even though it does, gloss over a lot of the finer details from the game. It does still retain that very heavy narrative drive, though, that the game had, which was something I really appreciated. So, even though it was done rather quickly, I still felt like the pacing was pretty strong. The things that they changed here and there actually work pretty well for the story, like the fact that, Link just plays a Song of Time and his Deku Mask falls off instead of having to learn the Song of Healing and everything. They don't really, stretch a whole lot out that they don't need to. But like I said, I would have liked to see some more of the side story characters, like Crimi and Romani. They're completely left out of this, except for at the very end. There's like a picture in the back somewhere of them. But there is one extra thing that they throw in. Yeah, there's Crimi and Romani. But there's one extra thing that they throw in here, which is an original side story, which is kind of interesting. It's just kind of speculation on the author's part, as to how the Majora's Mask came about, and you've got this ancient warrior here who travels to this basically wasteland, weird place, and he meets this monster known as Majora, who's basically known just for eating people. And I won't really spoil anything if you haven't read, but it's kind of interesting. It's not really long, but I did almost wonder if it was intended to kind of tie into Oracle of Ages with Sir Raven, because this guy does kind of resemble him, or if it's just kind of coincidence that, you know, they're all people who more or less resemble Link. Because I don't know if all the manga volumes are intended to tie together, or if they're supposed to be separate. I assume that, you know, Spirit Tracks and Minish Cap and some of the later ones are supposed to be separate, but I don't know if there was an implication that Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and the Oracle games were all tied together through this. But that said, you know, all these are a little bit different than the games that they're based off of. As for the 3 that I've read so far, I'd probably say this one is the best of the 3. I haven't checked out Ocarina of Time or Link to the Past or any of the other ones yet, so, you know, in the event that I find some of those are better, and I'll let you know that in the review, but of the 3 I've read so far, I definitely say Majora's Mask is the best. I'd still recommend the game over the manga, but, you know, if you want something quick to read and you really like Zelda, might be something to look into. So, with that, I will see you guys next time.